History isn't just a subject, it's an enthralling enigma, a puzzle stretching across millennia. Each piece represents a civilization, an event, a persona that once graced our world. Yet, some pieces seem to elude our grasp, refusing to fit neatly into our established narratives. In this video, we'll dive deep into these historical conundrums, these tales that remain tantalizingly out of reach. So, here are 6 important things in history that we still can't explain. Number 1. The Etruscan Enigma. Before Rome stole the limelight in Italy, the Etruscans were the star players, dominating the region which we now recognize as Tuscany, northern Lazio, and western Umbria. Active between the 9th and 1st century BC, they are often hailed as one of Europe's most enigmatic civilizations, mainly because they left a limited written record. The Etruscan culture was distinct, vivid, and highly influential. Their cities were lively centers of trade, art, and architecture. Etruscan artisans were revered for their skill in bronze working and pottery, with artifacts like the intricately designed bucero ware bearing testimony to their craftsmanship. Their tombs, decorated with vibrant frescoes depicting daily life, music, and sports, give us glimpses into their world and beliefs. Yet, in spite of their evident cultural sophistication, much of the Etruscan lore remains under wraps. This is primarily because their language, despite being recorded in a variety of scripts, is still not fully deciphered. Most of our knowledge about them comes through their art and what was written about them by their neighbors and successors, the Romans. Speaking of the Romans, it's worth noting the considerable influence the Etruscans had on Rome, from the iconic Roman arches and monumental aqueducts to religious rites and practices. Rome definitely owes a debt to Etruscan innovation and traditions. The ultimate decline of the Etruscans remained an intricate puzzle. As Rome grew in power, it absorbed and assimilated much of the Etruscan territories by the end of the 4th century BC. Over time, Etruscan culture and identity became so melded with Roman that they almost faded from individual distinction. Today, the Etruscans' echo remains loudest in their hauntingly beautiful necropolises, the inscriptions yet to be fully unraveled, and in the genetic and linguistic trails that hint at their non-Italic origins. While archaeologists and historians continue to join the dots, the Etruscans hold their mysteries close, beckoning us to keep probing the shadowy corners of ancient history. Number 2. The mystery of the Sea People. The Mediterranean in 1200 BC wasn't really your ideal vacation spot. As if empires toppling wasn't enough drama, the Sea People stormed the scene. These maritime marauders left destruction in their wake, leading civilizations to their knees. The Hittites, Mycenaeans, and even the mighty Egyptians faced their wrath. And yet, we're still not really sure of their origins or goals. Were they pirates, mercenaries, or just a group that seriously hated coastal cities? Heck, they're called the Sea People, but we don't even know whether they had any favorite seafood dishes. Number 3. The real face of ancient Egyptians. While we gawk at their pyramids and dig up every single tomb we find to marvel at their mummies, we don't actually know what ancient Egyptians look like. The Nile civilization left a trove of treasures, but who exactly were the hands and faces behind them? Of course, film portrayals sway from Hollywood's exotic fantasies to blatant representations. Some think they were Middle Eastern, others believe them to be indigenous Africans. Of course, some might say, well, aren't there portraits and artistic renditions of ancient Egyptians? Well, yeah, there are, but these age-old portraits, often vibrantly colored, shouldn't be taken at face value. Just as an Instagram filter might not reflect reality, Kardashians, and stylized rather than realistic. Colors used in their art held symbolic meanings, and choices could be based more on availability, convention, or spiritual significance than on accurate depiction. Thus, the colors you see on the walls of temples or tombs might be more about sending a message or following a tradition than showcasing the actual complexion of their subjects. It's an enigma that adds another layer to our understanding, reminding us that sometimes art really does transcend reality. Number 4. The Olmec's rock-solid mystery. The ancient Olmec civilization, largely regarded as the mother culture of Mesoamerica, is best known for its incredible colossal heads. These heads, carved with intricate details, represent powerful Olmec rulers, and their very existence provides a testament to the artistry and technical skills of their creators. But the mystery deepens when we consider the material and logistics. Carved from volcanic basalt, the source of the stone was located a staggering 80 miles away from the main Olmec centers. Imagine for a moment a society without the wheel, advanced pulley systems, or domesticated beasts of burden trying to move a 20-ton rock across such a distance. That's not just a casual weekend project. The terrain they would have had to traverse was dense, jungle-filled, and far from accommodating. Every mile would have been a challenge, from avoiding quicksand to navigating around dense vegetation and dealing with the wildlife. Scholars have proposed various theories, like rafts on rivers, log rollers, or sheer human manpower. But no one knows for sure because the Olmec left no written records about their rock transportation techniques. Perhaps the heads were not just symbols of power, but also demonstrations of capability. They might be saying something like, "Look what we can do." While the Olmec's civilization has long passed, their colossal heads remain as both a testament to their ingenuity and an enigma that continues to puzzle the modern mind. Number 5. China's underground surprise. If you thought China's mysteries were all above ground, think again. Located in the Zhejiang province of China, the Longyou Caves are a bewildering archaeological mystery. Discovered in 1992 by local villagers, these caves date back more than 2,000 years to the Qing dynasty or even earlier. There are currently 24 known caves covering an area of about 30,000 square meters. What's truly fascinating is the sheer scale and precision of these caves. Each cavern boasts an average height of 20 meters. Their walls, ceilings, and pillars are uniformly decorated with chisel marks in a series of parallel bands. Moreover, the precision and similarity between the caves hint at some grand design and purpose, yet their function remains a mystery. Adding to the intrigue is the fact that no historical texts or inscriptions mention the cave's construction or purpose. With over 1 million cubic meters of rock being excavated, one would assume that some historical record or mention would exist, but nothing. It's like they just appeared. Theories about their purpose range from underground storage to military hideouts or even astrological observatories. Some propose that they could have been royal tombs or places of spiritual significance. However, the consistent water markings in the caves suggest they might have been submerged or used as water storage facilities at some point. The sophistication of the design and the enormity of the manual labor required to create these marvels without the help of modern machinery only adds to their mystique. They remain, to this day, one of China's most perplexing and awe-inspiring ancient wonders. Finally, Sumerians' scripted secrets. When you think of groundbreaking tech, the Sumerians sure come to mind. They brought us cuneiform, a unique writing system that became Mesopotamia's trending script. But the irony is, well, we can't decode a significant portion of their records. Cuneiform evolved from simple pictography to more complex wedge-shaped marks made by pressing a reed stylus into wet clay tablets. Over time, the number of characters in this script dramatically expanded, ultimately comprising over 1,000 distinct symbols. These weren't just casual doodles, they were complex scripts detailing myths, epic tales. Now here's where it gets mystifying. Even with over 500,000 tablets and fragments discovered so far, a significant portion of cuneiform script remains undeciphered. It's like having pieces of an ancient jigsaw puzzle but being unsure of the final picture. While scholars have made significant strides in decoding them, especially familiar tales like the Epic of Gilgamesh, many tablets hold messages that are yet to be fully understood. Why? Well, for starters, over the centuries, this writing style was adapted by various empires like the Babylonians and the Assyrians, each bringing their own linguistic tweaks. The evolution of the script, combined with regional variations and the ravages of time, has made decoding certain aspects a Herculean task. These tablets offer a tantalizing promise, secrets about the dawn of civilization, early human thoughts, and maybe even pieces of history we've yet to fathom. As researchers and linguists continue to chip away, yeah, pun intended, at the mysteries of cuneiform, one can only imagine the untold stories waiting to be unearthed from these ancient inscriptions. And there you have it, folks, the weirdest, most wonderful, head-scratching mysteries of our ancient world. But let's be honest here, the real mystery? How they did all this without the help of smartphones, Google Maps, or even a decent espresso machine. If there's one thing to learn from our past, it's that humans have always been a little extra. And here's to hoping we someday unlock their secrets and maybe, just maybe, finally figure out where all those missing socks from the laundry go. So until we meet again in another tantalizing tale of history, mystery, and a bit of comedy, stay curious, everybody.